Hi, Gail. I have been looking forward to this conversation for so long because this is the work that you do. You help people change their whole lives. So I would love to start with how did you choose to do this for yourself? What led into your story?
Well, thank you for the invitation. And how did I choose to do this for myself? I always joke and say I got sick of my own damn self. It's like I got tired of the way things were going. I had big dreams, but I kept telling myself, I'm too old. I can't do it. It's not realistic, like all the things that people generally say.
All the butts, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing that really got me off my butt was I was on my last, I work for myself full time now, but my last position, I was there for 16 years.
Mm.
And I kind of maxed out on my salary. They actually told me that I was highly compensated enough, and they were not willing to pay me any more money.
Ooh,
Those are the exact words. And it was just like a light bulb went off, and I literally heard God say, Spirit, whatever you want to call it, they do not get to dictate how much money you make. And from that point on, I was just like, I got to figure this out. And it took me, I guess, I figured out what I wanted to do in about 3 months, but the process took me another, maybe less than a year
yeah.
before I quit
Well,
my job.
and I feel like it stemmed from this core knowing that like I'm worth more money than that.
For somebody to tell you, it was like they were putting limits on my value. So it was
Mm.
like, no, we think you're doing a great job. We just don't want to pay you anymore. It was just kind of crazy to me. I mean, I know people hit a glass ceiling or whatever, you want
Yep.
and the top of the pay scale, but I just knew I wanted more for myself. And so if anybody was going to give me a raise, it was going to be me.
Mm, that's powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. So then what did you do next? And how did you have the courage to step out of that
Yeah.
safety
So,
net of a job and take that leap into something new and unknown?
right. Always been into personal development, and prior to that, I had gotten certified as a health coach and actually a vegan lifestyle coach. I used to be seriously vegan and all the things, but it was more for me.
Mhm.
So when that all happened, I started exploring like what could I do? What do I like? Who do I want to help? I've had other businesses before in the past, so I just kind of like started looking for a new direction, and I followed the breadcrumbs, what I call it. And I was listening to a podcast, and the woman said, we're going to teach you how to figure out what you're made to do. And it was like a light went off again, one of those light bulb moments. And the program was closing like the next day. And I just said, I'm going to do it. And it was $3,000. I wasn't even like expecting to spend that. But doing that course, it was a 3 month course. Doing that course, I decided I'm going to get certified as a life coach. And I only wanted to get certified by the life coach school because the owner, I had been listening to her podcast for
Yeah.
years, but I was telling myself, I can't afford it. It's too much. I can't justify at my age spending that much money. It was 18,000.
Wow.
Um,
Well,
I
it's that question of like, am I worth it?
right.
Like, and we have to really battle that
Oh,
internal limit of like, what am I capable of? Can I really do it? And you
totally,
have to realize that yes,
totally.
you really are
And
worth it.
And it wasn't, it was the price, but it was also like, can I be successful at that? Can I, I was an accountant for all those years. Can I go from accounting to life coach? Um,
Can you
and
really
so
hold the vision of that future for yourself?
I totally did, totally did. And the work that I do as a coach, the model that I follow for with my coaching that I learned, I went all in on it. And a big piece of it is creating intentional results. So I did the work to create the intentional result that I wanted, which was to be a coach full time and to surpass my salary. So I left there. I quit my job, but my family, like everybody was trying to talk me out of it. And actually, I wrote my resignation and decided I was going to quit. And then I got scared and didn't do it. But
Yep.
again, this is like another pivotal moment.
Yeah, I call it
Um,
like a hinge point, like the thing that like made you go, no, enough is enough. Something has
yes.
to give.
And so what happened is this was around COVID. So I got certified in 2020 and I left there in 2020, May of 2021.
Wow.
But I live in Maryland and I was working in DC, which is a crazy commute. But during
Yeah.
COVID, I was home, working from home, so I could meet with my clients. Like I would get off my laptop at 4 and get on my desktop with my clients. So I had started getting some clients. And one day, out of the blue, my manager I was just went on a Friday to say, have a nice weekend. I went over to her office and she said, oh, by the way, I'm changing your hours. And I just like looked at her like, what? Literally, I was there 16 years. She was there 15 years. We had a great rapport. So you're just making this decision without discussing it with me? And then she was
Mm,
getting ready to go. She was from England and she used to go home for like weeks at a time. She was getting ready to go on vacation. And she said, when I come back, your hours will be changed. And I said, I need to let you know, I need to think about it. Because I was so thrown off. I didn't know like what to say. And when I went back to my office, while I was leaving, I just said, "It's time." And it probably had been 2 weeks or so before that that I was going to resign. So when she came back, I told her I was resigning. She cried. She
wow.
thought we would just be there together until whenever her or I retired. And it was like, no, I'm out. And I have gone all in. My first year in business, I tripled my corporate salary, which
Wow.
I went from 105,000 a year to 300,000.
That's incredible. So I want to know what it looks like to go all in on your own business, especially a coaching business. What is that? Can you paint a picture for us?
Yeah, it looked like doing everything I was afraid to do. Like it looked like trying a million different things and not listening to everybody's advice because the advice that I got and the training I got was you should only do one-on-one coaching at first until you're fully booked and then you should have a wait list and all these rules. I did
Yeah.
get to 18 clients, which was a lot,
Yeah.
a lot of one-on-one clients at one time. But then I just started saying, "Oh, I love this topic. Let me teach it." So I would just create a group program and say, "Oh, I'm doing this program called this." And back when COVID was happening, everybody was online. So I was really selling a bunch of programs, and that's how I was able to really make a higher amount. And people were really shocked, like, how did you do that? The numbers don't add up. And I'm like, yeah, I was selling these group programs. Um, Before I left my job, I sold a group program and I made 23,000. And that was when I said, I've never made 23,000 on my job at one time. Like I could
This is
do this.
possible. I
Yeah,
can see it now. Like, oh, look what I'm capable of.
totally. And I have a new client who just got laid off of her job. And it's such a crazy story because she was in corporate for 20 years, single, she's divorced and single mom. And actually, she was in that program that I was in years ago, that helped me to leave my job. But she started working with me and she was so afraid. She's like, I don't want to go back to corporate. I really want to make this work. I don't know what to do. And she had just accepted that she's a medium. So she had like always known
Yeah.
that she knew things. We started working together And in 18 days, she made $8,000.
What? That's
18 days.
amazing.
She's not certified as a coach. She's not like, we just worked together. I helped her create her program and um, she just went all in. The same thing that I do and that I teach my clients. You have to take on the identity of the person that you desire to be.
Yes.
You cannot, you can't work yourself to that identity. You have to assume it's already done and act as if that's who you are right now.
That's
That,
exactly it.
that's how I was able to do it. I even I would talk to the guy that cut my hairstylist. I would go there and he's pretty open-minded. I would say to him, you know, when I become a millionaire, you're going to come fly all over with me to my different speaking events and cut my hair. And he said, oh, we're going to be in the penthouse. And he would like play along with me. That's how you have to be delusional. You have to take
Ooh,
yourself into another world and live in it. Even during COVID, I would get dressed up every day for my coaching calls, and I would have on cute boots and lipstick and glasses. And my daughter would say, "Why are you dressed like that?" And I'm
for
like,
my damn self.
"That's
What?
yeah, that's how I'm a business owner. I'm a coach. I'm showing up. That's how I show up."
So
That's
what advice do you have for your clients and for the audience when they're like, I don't have the courage to do that. That's not who I am. Yeah. How do I be
yeah,
that version of myself when I don't feel like
you
I'm there yet?
Right. You be, because being, this is the way I teach it. Being is your thoughts and your feelings. It's your vibration. You have to take on new thoughts that are higher level than what you've ever thought before. So I talk about firing the liar, which is your brain. Your brain will lie to you and say you can't do it. So you have to be willing to say, brain, I don't believe you. I can do this. And I'm going to think this new thought and feel this new feeling. Most people don't know they can choose what they want to think and feel. We can. I didn't know that either. Like, I wasn't in touch, especially the feeling part. I
Yeah.
literally, one of my friends texted me the other day and said, do you have still have that feeling list? I really need to tap into my feelings. We have to learn how to feel and practice how to feel. And when you think a new thought and you feel a new feeling, the actions you take are from that energy. But if you're thinking, I can't do this, I don't know how, I never could do it before, you're proving that you can't. But if
Yep.
you say there, my business or my coaching or my whatever product is in high demand and people are waiting to hear from me, then you're going to make sure that they hear from you. You're going to make sure that you are seen. But and I've tried a lot of things over the years. This is the only thing that worked for me is to change my thoughts and feelings and take action. And even my mentor, I remember her saying, the reason why people have trouble manifesting is because they don't take action. The action is the missing piece for most people. And you got to do it afraid. You got to
Yep.
do it afraid. I say you got to feel like you're going to pee on yourself. You know that feeling like, oh, or you're going to be sick to the stomach, and it's like, oh, like a nervous stomach. You got to do it anyway.
Ooh, all right. So let's talk about safety for a second. Finding that sense of safety from within you, because so many people feel like, okay, well, but my job was my safety net, except for that no job
It,
really is. It's really not.
so safety is a frame of mind.
Mm,
Safety is what you say it is. Right? Safety
yeah.
isn't a job. Safety isn't a job, a marriage, a bank account. None of those things are safety. You've just told yourself that it's safer, but it's not true. I was married for a long time and I thought, oh my God, it's safer to have a husband than not. I'm very happily divorced. My life is great. So I quit a job without another income in my house, nothing. Safety is what we tell ourselves. And I say it really, and I had to, my mother's deceased, but I had to really tap into my mom and actually my ex-husband's grandmother. They both used to say, "Where's your faith?" And for a
Mm,
long time, I used to think, what does faith really mean? So I made up my own acronym, fully anticipate it to happen.
mic drop. Amazing.
So
Yes.
I would sit here working like faith. I have faith. I could tell you so many stories, like faith the size of a mustard seed. Like my mom used to wear a mustard seed
Ooh,
necklace because you can buy
beautiful.
the little necklace with the little seed. Your faith only has to be teeny, teeny, tiny. And that's what's helped me stay in business, not go back and get a job. Like I see so many people, running scared, and afraid of entrepreneurship. If we run scared, we'll never have what we desire. So I always say, if you don't quit, you always win.
Amazing. Amazing. So tell us how we could find you, how we could follow you and get more, because you are just a treasure trove of wisdom.
Thank you. I am on Instagram and I'm building a YouTube channel. So there'll be a lot of new stuff on YouTube. And it's everything's under my name, Gail Keys Allen. If you Google me, it's a whole bunch of stuff comes up, podcast episodes, videos, my website. I just had somebody find me just by Googling. She wanted a woman of color to help her with her money issues. And she found me on this old list that I was on from 2021. It was like a compilation of coaches of color. All you gotta do is Google me.
Amazing. I'm so excited. This has been so incredible. Do you have any last pieces of advice, especially for somebody who's just starting out, who's just finally going, maybe I can muster the courage somehow to change my life?
Yeah, I say take baby steps. Like do little tiny things that will add up over time. I jumped. I feel like I jumped off the cliff, right? Not everybody's going to do that, but I feel like if you do, you just get it over with and you get over yourself, but you get support. And when I quit my job, the day I quit, I had a coaching call. My last day of my 2 weeks after the 2 weeks, I had a coaching call. Like every time I would do something that I knew would kind of throw me off, and it's very emotional, I would get support. So I would say, jump, but get support.
Yes.
Jump
Amazing.
and get support. Get
Get
support and
support.
jump. I mean,
Yep.
if
And
I
there,
can do it, and most people don't know my age, and I love to tell it. I'll be 69 in May. So I did this at 65. If I can do it, like I hear 30-year-olds will tell me, "Oh, I thought I was too old." Well, if I'm not too old, you sure aren't too old.
yeah, we think these that we have these cages around us that make it impossible
Totally.
for us to do
Totally.
things. And if I'm
Totally.
not wrong, you're also we were caring for your grandson. Is that right?
Yeah, my daughter
Yeah.
and my grandson are here, but I help a lot with him. Like
Mhm.
every day I take him to school and pick him up. But he was born in 2019 at the end of the year, so when COVID started, he was a baby and my daughter was working nights and I was working my job, launching my coaching business and helping with the infant.
Amazing. It's like so much is
I-
possible when we believe it.
That's the thing, but if we tell ourselves, I can't do that, I don't think I can, it's too hard. You're already, I say you're arguing for your minute, like for your lesser than
Lim-
self,
Yeah, you're
you
arguing for
know?
your limitations.
But yeah, you're arguing for your limitations. Why?
Argue for your dreams instead.
Exactly.
Yep, let's do
Exactly.
this. Oh,
Yeah.
this has been incredible. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you.